Hello, good morning. My name is Alistair, and today me and my group will be presenting Kraft Heinz Company, which is in the subject of MGT4225 Business and Commercial Awareness, April 2020, where our lecturer is Mr. Lawrence Yasintal. Now, moving on, this is Kraft Heinz. For 150 years, they have produced some of the world's most beloved products at the Kraft Heinz Company. The vision is to be the best food company growing a better world. We are one of the largest global food and beverage companies with 2018 net sales of approximately 26 billion. The portfolio is a diverse mix of iconic and emerging brands. As guardians of these brands and the creators of innovative new products, we are dedicated to the sustainable health of our people and our planet. Moving on, these are my team members, which is me, Alice Albert, as CEO, Regencia, Head of Marketing and Communication, Nigel June as Chief Financial Officer, Louis as our Head of Research and Development, and Chai Boon Chun as our Director of Human Resources. Moving on. Now, this is the problem statement and the objectives from my side, which is the problem statement, is the Kraft Heinz relationship with retailers are deteriorating. And the second one is loss of crucial and valuable employees with in-depth knowledge of the food industry. Now, the objectives for my side is to repair relationships with retailers to maintain strong position in the market. Apart from that, is to acquire and retain crucial employees to maintain a strong team in revamping Kraft Heinz. Moving on is the past analysis, which is first is the political. Now, USA-China trade war caused the countries to slip down the world competitiveness rankings for 2020. Now, due to this trade war, the company's business are affected, and it has made it lower than previous years. Apart from that, current policies in countries push for the public to be more conscious when buying foods. Now, these policies affect the business itself. Now, economically, global oil prices dropped after unexpected reports of unexpected inventory build. Now, due to the drop of oil prices, there are drop of the price of the items that we sell. And because of that, economy has dropped, and the buying power of consumers have dropped as well. Now, unemployment rates rises. Now, due to this unemployment rate rises, the buying power of consumers are reducing. Moving forward is the social. Now, there's healthier food trends amidst the COVID-19 pandemic awareness. Due to the pandemic, right now everyone is switching forward to healthier food. So there are a lot of options for healthier food, which is affecting the company itself. Consumers' spending habits shifted in order to cope with social distancing after the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, the spending habits have shifted to a different trend, so it is affecting the business as well. Now, for technological, the use of robots and machines to produce products with lesser cost in manpower. Now, with new robots and machines, companies are able to produce products with lesser manpower and cost, and reducing the time to produce the product. Now, moving on is the current issues and implementation. The first issue is Kraft Heinz impaired business relationships with retailers. Supermarkets have greater options for their shelves today, and power have shifted to retailers in recent years as grocers gain more market data to determine what sells best. Now, it is important that Kraft Heinz itself to build and repair the damage of their relationships with the retailers, because they are the ones that is promoting the products. Now, the implementation is to offer more discounts and distribution to retailers and communicate with retailers to repair relationships. Now, when they are loyal and financially considerate, there is scope for them to tap additional financing options once they expand, which may take extended terms or new purchases, investments, or loans in the company. Next is the second issue, which is Kraft Heinz has come up short as an attractive employer, where a lot of employees and long service manager was fired. It is widely known that Kraft Heinz cuts 2,500 jobs that amounts to 5% of the company's 46,000 employees, with affected workers located in the US and Canada. Now, to implement our strategy is to offer additional working benefits, giving recognition to employees, craft high quality job positions to attract high quality job candidates. This is the appendix, which is the unemployment rate statistic. Now, that is all from me. I will pass to my other teammates.
Good morning, I am Regan Xia. I am the head of the Marketing and Communication department of this group. So firstly, it's the problem statement. So Kraft Heinz has actually been feeling the squeeze as the brand falls behind food consumption trends and faces other mounting challenges. As it has posted another quarterly sales decline in a sign of pressure. It remains on the food group. They have suffered from ever-changing consumer and shopper taste. And the objective is actually to rebuild the deteriorated and damaged relationship with the retailers, and also to ensure that there is adequate um, funding and amount for brand marketing of their products. Next will be the SWOT analysis. So firstly, is the strength. So Kraft Heinz has actually a very strong brand portfolio with brands ranging from Oscar Mayer, Velveeta, Maxwell House, and many other more. And they actually have a very solid brand awareness. They are very well known around the world, around 14 countries, which actually gives them a competitive edge against their competitors. So next is their weaknesses. So Kraft Heinz has always suffered from frequent product recalls. For instance, in a case whereby their Breakstone cottage cheese was recalled due to a mixed report that there was contaminated plastic and metal in the product. So another one of their weaknesses is the increasing monetary losses incurred due to business interruption, such as of course frequent product recalls, which actually incurs a lot of costs for the company. But next is the opportunities. Kraft Heinz has actually the opportunity to pivot into new emerging markets besides the current market they are in, whereby another of the opportunity is the white millennial markets. They can tap into that market. And next are the threats. So Kraft Heinz has the threat of changing consumer preferences and changing consumer lifestyles, as consumer these days prefer more healthy products, whereby Kraft Heinz is actually more on food packaging products. And next is their issues. So the first issue is actually the deteriorating and damaged business relationship with retailers. So Kraft Heinz has been clamping down on paying retailers, whereby they think they have a very strong bargaining power as the third largest food and beverage company in the United States. This is because actually strong network of quality business relationship will be the most valuable asset. But for the implementation for this issue is actually to have effective communication. So actually, to have good communication skill is actually a very useful tool when it comes to confrontation, especially to rebuild damaged relationship with retailers. So the next issue is actually the insufficient investment for marketing of its brands. This is because Kraft Heinz has sought savings everywhere, and has not invested sufficiently in its brands, because it is actually well known that 3G managers are actually known more for cost cutting than nurturing their brands. But the implementation for this issue is actually the increment of brand marketing tactics through digital marketing. So branding plays an important role with the utilization of digital marketing. It can play a very major role, um, whereby it is an important part of the company's strategic plan. Next is the appendix. So this is the strong brand portfolio of Kraft Heinz.
My name is Lai Jun. I'm Chief Financial Officer of Kraft Heinz. I'm going to present the problem statement and objective of Kraft Heinz. The problem statement of Kraft Heinz is that Kraft Heinz stock price dropped nearly 25% due to the company not able to follow the changing consumer trend and its ongoing cost-cutting strategy. Besides that, Kraft Heinz is also too aggressive in cost-cutting and spending too much on acquisition while they didn't put too much effort in invest in their product development. The objective of the Kraft Heinz is to regain stock price and managing the fund precisely and decide which department of the company need more fund. Besides, following down, I will present about the SWOT analysis of Kraft Heinz. The strength of Kraft Heinz is good return on expenditure. The strength of Kraft Heinz is the good return on capital expenditure. Kraft Heinz is relatively successful and executive of new project and generated good return on capital expenditure by building new revenue stream. Besides, cost structure also Kraft Heinz strengths. Kraft Heinz company low cost structure help it produce at a low cost and sell its products at a low price, making it affordable for their consumer. Falling down is the weakness of Kraft Heinz. The current ratio that shows the company's ability to meet its short-term financial obligation is lower than average industry. This could mean that the company could have liquidity problem in the future. Besides, Kraft Heinz has also cash flow problems. There is a lack of proper financial planning at Kraft Heinz company regarding to cash flow, leading to certain circumstances where there isn't enough cash flow as required, leading on unnecessary unplanned borrowing. Flowing down is the opportunity of Kraft Heinz. The lower interest rate that compared to previous years provide the opportunity for Kraft Heinz company to undergo expansion projects that are financed with loans at cheaper interest rate. Besides that, the inflation rate has been low and it is expected to remain low in the next 2 years. This is the opportunity for Kraft Heinz company and its cost of input will remain low for the next 2 years. Falling down is the threat of the Kraft Heinz. Kraft Heinz has intense competition. Kraft Heinz is subjected to competition from various companies across product categories and geographies. Its major competitor, for example, Nestle and PepsiCo. Higher competition force a company to spend more promotion and also induce price war which affect revenue and profitability. Flowing down, I will present about the issue and implementation for Kraft Heinz. The first issue of Kraft Heinz is that Kraft Heinz stock price dropped nearly 25% due to the changing consumer trend and its ongoing cost-cutting strategy. For the implementation, I recommend Kraft Heinz to regain their stock price. Kraft Heinz need to regain their stock price by building back investor confidence. Investors are particularly worried that the Kraft Heinz has fallen behind in the plant-based food market, fueled by brands like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods. Kraft Heinz should develop its product to follow up consumer trend and market their product well to build back the popularity of the company. This would give the company shareholders and investors some faith that the company are still able to keep going. Besides that, the second issue of Kraft Heinz is it focuses on cost saving and acquisition rather than investing in its brand. For the implementation, I recommend they manage the fund precisely and decide which department of the company need more funds. To solve the second issue, Kraft Heinz should manage the fund properly. Firstly, they have to stop spending too much on acquisition. Merger and acquisitions certainly have their place, but this move shouldn't come at the expenses of a maniacal focus on consumer needs, behaviors, and insights, all of which are critical for brands seeking to stay relevant with today's easily distracted customer. Besides that, they also need to cool the cost cutting and focus more on innovation. This is because Kraft Heinz was so focused on cost cutting and lose sight the big picture, and it increasingly saw product started to lose consumer. Therefore, instead of aggressively saving costs and spending too much on acquisition, they need to provide more funds to research and development department to let them invest in product development in order to follow up consumer trend. For the next slide, I will pass it to Luis, which is the head of research and development. Thank you.
Hello, today I'm going to present as the head of research and development of Kraft Heinz. So the first problem statement is that Kraft Heinz spend at least 0.35% of its sales to the R&D, which is 93 million. Compared to the other investment in their company, 0.35% is considered low on the research and development, which is considered important for producing new product. So the second problem is that they cut off or lay off people with knowledge, and also the problem in their accounting department, which actually shift their focus on solving the current problem rather than the investment, rather than what happened on the research and development of the company. So the objective of today is to increase the amount of investment towards the R&D of Kraft Heinz, and also to find another method of obtaining new innovation. Okay, so we go to the SWOT analysis. So for the SWOT analysis, we can see that the strength is the usage of sustainable material in their product. Then second is their greenhouse to grow their materials. So this is actually what can be cost saving towards their research and development side. The weakness is that the lack of investment or low investment in the research and development. As I mentioned previously in the problem statement, they only invest around 0.35% of their sales. So the opportunity is that the usage of manufacturing and increasing the recruitment in R&D. So now as of 2017, they were to use manufacturing as their research and development, and also after the layoff of people with knowledge, they actually increase the recruitment in their R&D for as it cause a downfall in their profit gain. So the threat is that the strict competition with other company whom has new product as their product does not appeal, although they would gain more on their loyalty, customer loyalty, but due to the advancement of new product in their market, it has caused their company to lose a lot. So the current issue is that the lack of investment compared to the other investments in the company. So the implementation that I would suggest is that to increase the rate of investment in the research and development to produce new product which enable Kraft Heinz to compete in the market. So the second issue is the laying off of people with knowledge and the problem with accounting department, which lead the loss of focus in producing or researching for new product. So the implementation is that we would want to hire new people with suitable knowledge in food and beverage industry. Not only that, we can also add like campaigns, competition, which actually ask for individual outside the company to actually present ideas or present new way of producing the food and beverage product for Kraft Heinz, and these people can be hired as it goes through the stages. Okay, thank you. That is from me.
Hello, I'm Chai Boon Jun. I'm Director of Human Resource. First is problem statement. Kraft Heinz will meet talent shortage due to large amount jobs cutting. Based on articles, it cuts 2,500 jobs, roughly 5% of its workforce. Within a month of the merger, then 3 months later, it slashed another 2,600 jobs. It will be cuts off a lot of talent worker. Next is the quality of work for the remaining employees of Kraft Heinz will down because the workload increase. This is due to the large amount jobs cutting. Next objective is there are two objectives. The first is to build the internal talent from the remaining employees. Second is to find a better way to decrease the employees' workload. So the next is SWOT analysis of Kraft Heinz. The strength of the Kraft Heinz is highly skilled workforce through successful training and learning program. Second is the Kraft Heinz have the strong brand portfolio. Before their merger, Kraft founded on 1980 and Heinz founded on 1869. They have very long history and very familiar to the public. And the second is weakness. Kraft Heinz not highly successful at integrating firms with different work culture. The opportunities is based off the Kraft Heinz that they have endless opportunity for growth for those that make an impact for the company. For example, Kraft Heinz recognize and reward outstanding performance at every level in the true spirit of meritocracy. In 2014 alone, more than 1,000 employees were promoted as a result of their high performance and value creation. Second is the last one is trade. The trade is of the Kraft Heinz is competitors provide better conditions to their employees. For example, Nestle Canada has rolled up a special bonus for its employees to support its staff and amid the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis. So now is issues of implementation. The issue one is Kraft Heinz embarking upon a transformation agenda based on CPO of Kraft Heinz Lisa Artery 2019. Kraft Heinz focus on growth, creativity, and curiosity, so they need to find the best talent faster than anyone else. The implementation is develop and reward employees. First is train your employees targeting particular levels and competences. Kraft Heinz can send employees on internal and external training courses, such as, for example, Kraft Heinz can create the internal workshop for the old employees or support their employees to attend the external work training course and provide them with experience in. Other than that, they also can provide them with experience in different departments or different jobs roles. They also can create the individual development programs, which should include people management, influencing peers, learning about the business, building control system, building leadership skill, dealing with challenging conditions, negotiating, farming, and solving problems, and managing former peers or supervisor. So the next is the issue 2. The issue 2 is poor reviewing from employees and former employees on Glassdoor. Employees of Kraft Heinz reviewing the Kraft Heinz company have poor work-life balance and rate it as one of the worst companies to work for. So the implementation is Kraft Heinz can introduction for the employees is the flexibility work arrangement. There are many professionals who have increased access to variety of facility policies such as flexi times, compressed work weeks, or teleworking. There are 3 types of flexibility, which is flexi time, flexi place, and flexi career. Flexi career is the option that allow employees to move in and out of the workforce and structure their career around other interests or responsibilities. For example, job rotation or role rotation. Employees between 2 or more jobs so they can cross-train and develop a wider variety of skills. So that's all.